Hey people, Intrid here, 3v3 Faction War this is, and from Heights and Space Marines versus Chaos. For the blue Space Marine fellas, AngryMetalGuy is a Techmarine. Starts off with a bolt gun, can get a melee loadout, supports with structures and repairs. Alongside, Venjitron's Force Commander, a versatile frontline hero with strong offense fighting in melee of course. And rounded off the team, Saint Galahad's Apothecary, support hero fighting in melee by default, begins with a heal and a passive health regeneration aura. For the red Chaos fellas, 2 Chaos Sorcerers, Hate is a weapon, and FXL already being shot at. These guys are offensive and disruptive heroes with powerful battlefield manipulation and control. Rounded off the teams, Fatard, just hanging out with a Chaos Lord, a durable and destructive hero walking through objects that cannot be suppressed with powerful offense and disruption, fighting in melee. Are you going to cap that thing there, buddy? Doesn't want to get shot at by the scouts and the marines over here, maybe. He's giving it a go. The CSM of Iftard are pushing through the mid alongside FXL. They have the same color scheme, so I'm going to get confused. Doom bolts, big hits on those tactical marines there. These fellas now going into melee, which is weird. They're quite low. Bunch of Kraken bolts was up there as well, doing extra damage. They drop a model quite quickly. No battle cry from the Force Commander, at least not yet. Another Doom bolts makes those guys run, and Heretics get into the back lines, and they find some scouts, and they Doom blast and then leave them alone, apparently. Might have been able to get a model there, a few more hits, but they've run off. Sorcerer consumes another one, as you do. And these guys are going to go try and cap the contested VP in the mid. There's a natural for the blue team in the east, natural for the red team in the north. Natural powers south and west in this corner here. What's the Chaos Lord up to? He's still busy capping. I think he got shot at, backed off, and then went back to capping. Shotgun scouts back in play then. Just messed up some Heretics. Can't do much against the Chaos Lord though. Can't knock him over or suppress him. But they're going to focus him down now. And those CSM, yeah, they need to try and take scout models off with their bolt guns here. Just keep the scouts away or force melee here, I think, is what AngryMetalGuy should do. Oh, the scouts dropped one. Yeah, now he's going into force melee combat. I think these fellas should just leave now. They've done their job. They killed a scout. Yep, off they go. Can they do it without dropping a model? Did he wait a bit too long here? I think they're okay. Looks like they're alright. On the eastern natural VP of the Space Marines, you have double CSM from Hate is a weapon. And Noise Marines coming up. Raptors on the way for Iftard. Could support them with Harness of Rage. Doom Bolts misses there. Kraken Bolts is active. 20% more damage to heavy infantry armor, such as the Chaos Space Marines. I don't think there were any around though. Used a bit early there. And a big old retreat from AngryMetalGuy means these guys can get onto the power. Perhaps. So there's still some scouts around. They decap the wreck point here. Heretics can't do much when they've got shotguns in play, unless he's not paying attention, I guess. Because their pistols don't really do anything. Aspiring Champion on the way, though. These are FXL's Chaos Space Marines power bashing. With Sorcerer support, could chuck out the Doom Bolts on tacks if they're hanging around, especially if they're out of cover. You guys going to shoot? There we go. Scouts getting caught by a whole bunch of stuff, including the Raptors on the field. These are jump troops with 30 DPS chainsaws that can mess you up pretty good. Suppress units when they land with a cacophony effect. They found some tactical marines now. Into base turrets though. And these guys go back to power bashing. What's going on towards the north? The Force Commander's fallen over. Should get revived. Sorcerer of Hate doing some good work. It looks like he's got no energy left. He's been busy. So his Black Templar tactical marines run off. And the Apothecary's got a fight on his hands. Should get the revive. Later he could just run up and heal him and it will revive him. But the Force Commander could be in a tricky spot. Wonder if he'll wait for the revive there. Assault squad on the field for St. Galahad. Jump troops with more hit points but less DPS than the Raptors, and they disrupt when they jump on you rather than suppress you. Doing some really good work there. Great synergy, of course, with a healing Apothecary. Power bash still going on. Got all the gens. These are attacks of Venjitron, who's dropped. Oh, he's dropped his scouts completely, has he? Not sure where that happened, but it did. These guys have a sergeant now, and that's a clump of Chaos Space Marines but they can't chuck their grenade. They just used a shotgun blast. Got to know energy for the grenade. 453 to 372. Assault squad up also for Venjitron being suppressed. Using their jump to disrupt the CSM. Sorcerer's right there, but doesn't want to get involved apparently. I was a Doombolt him. Some good hits. Now goes into melee. And those ASM got messed up. Assault squad do get away with one model loss. More Assault Marines. This time from AngryMetalGuy. And they do force a retreat. I think they maybe should have stayed in there, you know. Put everything on melee mode and just go after those Assault Marines. But here comes F-Tard to clean up. With his own Raptors, of course. Raptors have found the shotgun scouts. Cheeky grenade, maybe. 429 to 372. That was shotgun blast. As players start to think about their tier 2s. In fact, Hate and FXL, the two sorcerers, have already gone. I guess they predicted everything correctly so far. Chaos Lord runs off. Heretics run off. That was another power bash, though. Being very aggressive on the power, as you should against triple the Space Marines. They can become completely unplayable, basically, late game in a faction war scenario. You need to be even more aggressive on the power than you would, maybe sacrificing a few models here and there to slow them down a bit. The Force Commander of Venjitron has a power sword, an improved battle cry, and some power melee damage, and artificer armor for general durability. Apothecary no war gear, almost level 2 though. Doom bolts. Don't think he got any good hits though. Noise Marines have run off. Heretics are still in there. Sorcerer has just consumed one of them though. Grenade. I think it's a bit too late, fellas. Yeah, too late for that grenade. Doom bolts, a decent hit. Very messy fight over here. Assault squad getting very low. Sorcerer can't finish it though. Doesn't have vestments to chase it or anything. Did just wipe something there? Did Hate lose some CSM there? Has definitely lost some CSM, right? I think so. Blood Crusher on the way, I'm confused. That's going to be quite painful coming out this soon, I think. Yeah, because Hate has had double CSM, I think. Double CSM into Noise Marines, and now they have more CSM. So they lost one along the way. Force Commander back on his feet, but for how long? Did well in that last fight, and he's still going. Apothecary fighting some Raptors, which is not a great fight for him, but gets backed up by some Assault Marines, and he kills a Raptor alongside him. Force Commander still going. Artificer and Power Sword doing work here, level 3. In heavy cover against those CSM firing as well. And here comes the Apothecary with a anointed power axe. Sorcerer's gonna fall, I think. Does fall. 40 Emperor popped on these Assault Marines. That's a global buff from the Force Commander, giving them 25% more damage, but now they face a Blood Crusher. It is not really something they can deal with at the moment. They could chuck a Melter Bomb at it later on, but need to be tier 2 and stuff for that. Venjitron has started to go tier 2. Force Commander does get away. That was well played, that Force Commander. Did a lot of work in those 2 or 3 minutes there. Apothecary still in play. He's coming back up with some scouts and tax and missile launcher. Gets a good hit on the Blood Crusher. It does have vehicle armor. Not a lot of hit points, but it's very mobile and does good DPS. And of course, you can worship this guy. There's these demonic summoning. Spawning some bloodletters to tie up those tactical marines. That's good play. Still needs to get the Blood Crusher out though, I think. Another shot goes in. Almost took it down. It does go down pretty fast, a kind of hard anti-vehicle. These guys jump after it, hoping their melee attacks can get it done. But they couldn't. The Blood Crusher survives. 414 to 194. Huge VP lead for the Space Marine team. What else is going on? You have a melee Techmarine. Awesome. Axe and Bionics. Chaos Fellow is able to break out of that huge pressure they just faced. Double CSM with Mark of Zinch now for Hate. And yeah, it's bad news for the old Marines over there. Dreadnought on the way for Venjitron. Bloodletters are up for Tard. These guys have power melee Hellblades. And teleport and stuff. Are they going to try and finish off this guy? I think he's done for. Oh, they messed up. They did a little teleport passive thing, and it means no hits. It means no hits. Big old shotgun blast. He can't suppress bloodletters, but he can knock them over. Raptors have their aspiring champion now with the big old blood maul thing. Demon maul, I think they call it. It's an awesome looking weapon. Raptors getting messed up by the Force Commander. They need to stay away from that guy. Try and wait for him to engage and get bogged down and then jump something. It's generally the way to do that. Heretics did get the cap on this VP for a Chaos triple. Is there going to be a grenade? No, they should be fine then. Grenade was unlikely to wipe them anyway. There's a Dreadnought. Starts off as a melee walker. Oh, they did get the Techmarine down in the end. Look. Did go down. These guys will need to back away from the Dreadnought. They can't really do much to it. Markov Zinch here for F-Tard as well. Goes to some Plague Marines in response to the Dreadnought. They've got a missile launcher, those fellas. Everything else needs to leave. They want to mess up the Force Commander first, though, do they? Don't think they can. Got him quite low. Dreadnought gets some good hits. Takes out a Bloodletter. Only one of them gets away, in fact. What is this? Apothecary is going for the VP. Level 3 with Armor of Purity and Purification Rites. A super aggro Apothecary now. Can wade into melee with this, knock stuff back when he heals himself, and heal himself more often because of the Armor of Purity. Doesn't help against a Blood Crusher though. It's going to crush your blood or something. Gets a decap, and then should be running. There's the Demonic Scream, whatever it's called. Demonic Roar, I think. Imagine a Blood Crusher screaming. These guys with their Sergeant have to run away. Apothecary's still staying in here. Dreadnought is really far forward, it looks like, on the map. Really far forward. Just took a big chunk of damage, probably from Plague Marines, yep. Can he get away? Double Plague Marines in play from two different players. He can't tie both of them up. Who are you? You're FXLs. I think this Dreadnought is done for. Was sent way too far forward by Venjitron. Most likely chasing fights, which is generally what happens with a melee walker. They just keep chasing and chasing. Don't want to turn around and get shot at, so they just overextend. Rod of Warp Fire for the Sorcerer. Gives him a really good basic range attack, 35 DPS. That's the same as like the Techmarine's bolt gun. And he gets the awesome Warp Fire too. Warp Fire is great. Can really mess up a squad of tanks like these guys. Those fellas have plasmas now, I think. Yeah, plasma gun on the Tactical Marines. Techmarine gets away. Big push by Chaos now. Can they get decisive power bashes? They should split up. If they were communicating, maybe split up and go for both of the powers. Those guys are capping mid and decapping wreck point. They're going for one of the powers at least. Venjitron's here to defend. Level 5 Force Commander. And these guys with the plasma gun getting way too close to stuff. Really sloppy there from Venjitron. Assault Marines. It's a bad matchup against Bloodletters, but they had a bunch of support and I think they took them out. Bloodletters are down. Banished back to the warp. Tax were shooting them. Scouts were shooting them. Techmarine was in there too. Assault Squad with a jump on the CSM. Anything to support. Raptors are here. Where's the warp fire there? It's the Sorcerer. I don't know where he's going. There we go. Doom bolts. Decent. Merciless Strike though. Hits those Raptors back. And now they run. And now the Assault Marines run. And now everything runs. Did they bash? They got a couple of gens. What's this? More power bashing. They did actually do it. Got a couple of gens here too. And the Blood Crusher's still going now, taking missile hits though. Apothecary's going to fall. Down he goes. Should be easily revived from there. Tax runoffs. Heretics got on him. Yeah, Blood Crusher's done really well. I think that's all they had, right? The single missile launcher. Don't even have... Oh, these guys have a melter. There's some Stern Guard veterans dropped in by Venjitron 1st Company Marines that can change their ammo to combat all targets, switching to Hellfire Acid to shoot those heretics. And they're probably going to wipe now. That's doing damage over time to them. And some Terminators in for St. Galahad. Storm Bolters and Power Fists. Really bad news for all these Chaos fellas. Blood Crusher. Time to back off. You're way too far forward, and Stern Guard have switched to their Vengeance rounds there with 4 the Emperor thrown on them by Venjitron. Bit of a waste in the end. I think it's like 100 red or something. Maybe 75. Decap from the CSM there. Was well played. 250 to 120 on the VPs. What is this? That's a Chaos Lord. No War Gear, level 2. Chasing off some Assault Marines. Techmarine is trying to beat down these Plague Marines, but they're tough old fellas. Chaos Lord comes in. Might be worth getting Mantle of Hate. Or Drain Life, sorry. Level 4 Techmarine, you know. What is this? Terminators? Chaos Terminators in for Eftard. See, that axe is draining the health of the Chaos Lord, meaning maybe he can't use Kill the Weak when he wants to, when he needs to. And he goes down there. Terminators teleport away. Those guys with Combi Bolters and Power Fists. Not as much hit points as Loyalist Terminators, but he can worship those fellas, of course. Space Marines have a bunch of other support options. They are a bit cheaper to come out, though, the Chaos fellas. Noise Marines, no Blast Master yet. And there's some worship for the Blood Crusher. Also infiltrates it, which is handy. No special weapon upgrade for these fellas yet. I mean, they have pretty damn good weapons as it stands, Terminators. Double cap for Chaos. Is that a direct hit on the Aspiring Champion there with the missile launcher? Looked like it. Opening up with the Mark of Tzeentch. Some Doom Bolts. Big heal there from the Apothecary. And Venerable Dreadnought comes in from AngryMetalGuy. Unique to the Techmarine. Chasing off the Blood Crusher immediately. A melee Dreadnought with a big bucket of hit points. Can charge as well, which helps it get out of trouble. These guys get an autocannon in. Can they stop this cap? With the sheer weight of fire. Do you guys Mark of Tzeentch? No, you're not. Doom Bolts flies in. Demonic Shield thrown up. They get the cap without dropping a model, and then they teleport away. Maybe slightly lucky to do so, because they have lost more than a third of their hit points there. But that's how the shots land sometimes. Vanguard Veterans up for St. Galahad, jumping in. First Company Assault Marines with a bunch of power weapons, including a Lightning Claw and a Thunder Hammer that can knock you over. Switching to Power Fist, which is now a free upgrade. Well, a side grade, I guess. You're losing some power melee, which is good to get some heavy melee in there. You lose the knockback stuff. Venerable backs away. Tank chases. Nope, tank doesn't chase. A Chaos Predator here for hate. More Chaos Terminators for FXL. Both with the autocannons, these guys. Here are F-Tards. Oh, Chaos Lord is down. Still. Might be able to get him. Robes of Torment here and Tome of Subjugation. Sorcerers can be really bad news for Terminators, so we'll see what they can do. Venerable getting some repairs from the scouts. Techmarine could maybe help. Where is he? Bit too far forward to help at the moment. Mark of Tzeentch on the Chaos Pred. Gives it some las cannons for anti-vehicle. For the Emperor. On the Stern Guard. Using Vengeance. Really bad news for those terms there. Vengeance rounds are good versus super heavy infantry and versus vehicles. Circle of Summoning, and Blood Crusher goes after him, trying to tie him up. And those guys get subjugated. Look at that. When they are subjugated, I believe they are slowed down, but they're immune to damage and they deal more damage as well, so you can turn them on their allies. Blood Crusher's going to go down here, unless it gets warped out. Demonic Roar goes off. There's no warp, and down it goes. Big fight here. Chaos fellas down to just 59 VPs. Trying to apply some pressure. Venerable having a grand old time fighting Raptors. Very good fight for it. There's double Plague Marines there though. And autocannon. Taking some damage for sure. Being slowed down by the Plague Marines, but that slowdown won't stack with multiple Plague Marines. So it can still move out. And charges away. 232 to 59 on the VPs. Power bash here and a power decap grenade. I think they'll survive it, but are they going to run after? FXL not paying attention to these fellas in time, and I think they're going to wipe. And those guys had grenade launchers, so 20 power was spent on those fellas. 220 to 59. This drop pod is reinforcing, isn't it? I think so. Should be reinforcing now. If they're close enough, that is. Chaos holding the mid for now. Awkward spot for the tank to be in. Yeah, you always want to be behind the VP, I think. Unless you're specifically chasing something. You certainly don't want to be showing your rear armor to the enemy there. Not always easy to control your tanks, though, on this. 201 to 59 on the VPs. Techmarine trying to grab the VP in the mid. Gets the decap. Has the refractor field up there, which has been changed in the latest versions. This is 2913 right now that we're playing, or watching, I guess. It used to give an accuracy debuff, but now it just absorbs more energy than other shields. Takes away the RNG, but it's still unique in that it doesn't stop knockback. It's just better at absorbing damage. I guess it's better because it also works against melee attacks, eh? Absorb those melee stuff. Land Raider Redeemer on the way for St. Galahad. Another Chaos Pred for Hates. Sorcerer down here. Other fellas really low and running off, and Lightning Claws up for the Chaos Lord. Who's down over here? Oh, that's the Sorcerer dumbass. No one else is down? No. Oh, Venjitron's down. Right there. With Sacred Standard doing its thing. Sacred Standard, of course, nerfed in the latest versions. 5% reduction on the damage buff. Still a great piece of war gear. Venjitron could be calling Terminators in soon-ish. Just needs a little bit more power and about 300 more requisition. What is this? Assault Squad chasing down some Raptors. Only 2 of them, but they are backed up by a pretty pissed off melee Techmarine and a venerable Dreadnought with Dark Age of Technology. 176 to 59, 2 to 1 for Chaos. Can they hold on? Big push here, look at that. These fellas with the Cyclone Missile Launcher, which was nerfed, toned down a bit. Now has a 1 minute cooldown rather than 40 seconds to use that ability. Revive is up. Apothecary almost level 6, and the Force Commander's back to his feet. Force Commander level 8, he's done well. There's an orbital. Got those Terminators pretty good. They can't retreat out of it. And I don't think you can walk them out when they're in that state either. They may wipe, actually, because there's plasma attacks right there. Able to teleport away. I think they survive it. Force Commander is idle now. Assault Squad flee. Force Commander's now woken up a bit. And looks like he got healed by the Apothecary as well. More Terminators coming in. And there's those 2 Chaos Preds. Apothecary came to the wrong neighborhood there. And this is Mark of Pawn on this tank. More speed, more damage. But maybe less specialized than the Mark of Zeech fella. Cyclone Missile Launcher almost took it out. Almost took it out. Bloodletters getting in there. Bloodletters all wreck Terminators. Those fellas were just Circle of Summoning ones, I think, though. Or maybe Blood Sacrifice. I think it was Circle of Summoning. Scouts under attack. Oh, Heretics chased them in, look. Plasma Cannon. Overshoots. They typically overshoot when they're on heightened terrain. Elevated terrain, I should say. There's that Land Raider. Space Marines can now all retreat back to this thing and reinforce off it. Pretty big deal in a big 3v3, eh? Terminator's getting very low. Chaos fellas, that is, and they teleported out. Can they grab the mid? They're going to try. It's a lot of Chaos stuff here. Force Commander runs in a little bit blindly. And then retreats. Is he going to make it? He's retreating back to the Land Raider. I just saw the warp fire go off and mess up some Marines there. It can be nuke bait, though. When a bunch of stuff retreats back to the Land Raider, drop an Abyss on it. And he can really mess up a bunch of stuff. But there's the double cap for the Space Marines. Look at these fellas, sneaky boys. Didn't even realize. They did it. That was a sneaky cap. Who wasn't paying attention up there? Hate, I think. Yeah, Hate got a bit low. Only 3 units. Took his eyes off the VP a bit. Didn't have the Sorcerer up. If that played out, Chaos were in with a shout, I think. But you got to play the VPs. Got to play those VPs. Techmarine in mid-air. I don't know what happened to him. Level 6. Some good melee stuff. Level 10 Force Commander for Venjitron. Pointing his sword at stuff with those, what is it, Mark 6 Corvus helmets, whatever they are. Level 6 Apothecary. A level 3 Sorcerer still down. Level 5 Sorcerer with the staff and all that good stuff. And a level 3 Chaos Lord with Lightning Claws. But there you have it, guys. Big thanks to these players for playing us a faction war. Venjitron for sending in, I think. And thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time.